Invitation sent. There she go. Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, wait, I want to send you up. Let me see how I could do this. Hold on.
Okay.
Um, I just saw a way that I can do it too. Now, hold on. Oh, I just seen it. I just seen it. Let me see something. Uh, no, that's not it. Cause I wanted you to come up here a little, like up on the thing.
Yes.
Okay,
It
hold
only
on.
shows that I'm able to do audio. It says audio only.
Oh, really? That's what it
Yes. It says
says.
you're only able to join audio. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think you. Oh, you have to have a few followers, probably. But I can hear you good. Um, hold on. So you can't even use your camera. It's just not one thing about TikTok. It's another thing. But it's okay. I could show your son's picture. She doesn't have enough followers for what you wanted. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, next time we're gonna do my YouTube. We're gonna do it. See, okay, that's okay. We're gonna get her story out next time, y'all. We're gonna head over to YouTube and do the video. How about that? Um, her son was. I'm doing this because number one, we all know that she's not no family, no parent that I have dealt with, right, is getting no type of help by the police at all. Period. No help, right? And I can't, and that just
Right.
irks me. So I want her to tell her story, and I'm not afraid to say names on here either. Okay, girl? All right? Because his son was brutally murdered. So I'm gonna let her
Yes.
tell her story, and you're allowed to say names if you want.
Okay.
Um,
First off, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity and apologize for the ignorance of others who make what you do kind of scary or, make you feel skeptical because of the ignorance of others, who do things to make you feel some type of fear or make you want to stop.
it's okay.
Um,
Don't scare me. I
you and
cursed
I
his head out.
have been talking for a little while now, and I appreciate what you do for others. My son, Alec Bosque, was murdered in Odessa, Texas, in West Odessa on Halloween night 2020. Prior to Alec's murder, we had to call the police an ample amount of times. We had so many police reports due to burglaries, drive-by shootings at my home, at my home's residences and vehicle. Um, to no avail. We did not get any help, and Alec ended up being murdered.
That's her baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Alec was 18. Prior to him turning 18, the majority of my police reports, he was a minor. We're going on year 4 this year. We have not gotten any help at all. We have been told that his case is a closed case due to lack of evidence. There was lots of evidence, whether it was at the scene, in my home. We're talking when kids shot at my home. They left a mess, They left their casings behind. They bled on my walls when they broke in my home due to injuring themselves. I still have yet to get back any type of reports or anything that says whose blood was in my home. And this happened in May of 2020, and we're 4 years later. And the police do say, and let me correct myself when I say that, this is the Ector County Sheriff's Office, that they do not have enough investigators to investigate any crimes or, cases in our county. And so that's an issue too, and a problem that these are murders. We cannot say that we don't have the resources or we can't because we don't have enough people. These people are human beings that are a part of our community, whether it's here, there, or anywhere. And I feel like there's an obligation to the community to seek justice for those who have been murdered.
That's right. When did it first start? Because let's also put out her son was being bullied. He was being bullied.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. In March of 2020, my son had purchased an American type bully dog that very popular in our area that cost him quite a bit of money. Some guys went with him and they purchased a male and a female. Well, shortly after, my son's male bully dog disappeared. Someone stole it, sold it to someone else, and then wanted to try to extort money from my son to get the dog back. We were told it would cost $800 to get the dog at our doorstep, or $500 for the address of where the dog had been or was. The dog was missing from March 2020 to May of 2020. We did call the cops to report it to see if we could get help to get the dog back because it had cost so much and they did not help us. But we did get the dog back. And as soon as I got the dog back, my house started getting shot up and robbed nonstop until my son was brutally murdered. And we're talking, this is a big case of organized crime. When my son was murdered, they said 20 plus kids should be arrested for their involvement in my son's murder. So it was premeditated, and he was basically hunted down and executed.
This is really crazy. Katie said they don't have the help, so they get away with it. That's insane, but I'm not surprised.
Yes, that's what it seems like.
Right. So they already bullied him into his dog. Okay. So then he gets. Let's talk about the relationship.
Okay.
He got into a relationship with a pretty young girl. He was very happy. Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. Tell me a little bit about Alex, because he loves sports.
Oh, yes. Alec was a football player, baseball player, basketball player, and a track cross-country runner. He played every sport that there was here in Odessa to play. Very athletic and very academically inclined.
So he loves sports. He was an outdoor person. He was a family boy. He was really close to y'all.
Yes, very close to his mom and dad. Very close, and his sister. Yes.
So he was a family boy.
Yes, ma'am.
Has Alex ever been in a relationship before?
No, ma'am. When we found out about his girlfriend, it was probably a few weeks prior to him being murdered. And fast forward, we end up finding out that the girlfriend that Alec has at the moment, prior to his murder, her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend at the time, had involvement in breaking into my home. Mm-hmm. So as parents, you kind of can't understand why this girl's attracted to your son or wants to be with your son after her boyfriend broke in our house and he was arrested for basically trying to kill her, because she basically, I guess, dabbled in the things that were stolen from my house. The story goes that she stole some money that was taken from my house, and he basically attacked her and choked her, and the police were called, and next thing you know,
You okay?
Are you there?
Are you okay? Michelle,
Oh, I'm not hearing you.
you okay?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You okay?
Let's see.
Oh, she scared me for a minute when I was to.
Are you there?
Yeah,
Oh,
can you
there
hear
you
me?
go. Hi, you disappeared.
Ah, girl, you
Yes,
scared
yes, I
me.
can hear you. Sorry.
I thought something
I know. I was like,
happened.
where did you go? I could see your lips moving.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought something happened. You scared
But
me. Okay.
um oh no. But yeah, it was kind of odd. We didn't understand. We did notify the police and let them know that this girl was dating my son. We did think she had possibly involvement in the break-ins or was possibly dating my son to set him up. But according to the police, that was all hearsay. There was no proof or evidence of any of that happening, so nothing was done.
I find it weird that every time they went somewhere with her, he was getting shot at.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you tell me the day?
Definitely.
Go ahead.
It definitely felt like a setup. She was aware that I knew. I did confront her about the situation. She said that she had no involvement. She was not trying to hurt my son, that she loved my son, that my son was very good to her. And as a mother, you think you can't love my son. You barely started talking to him.
Mm.
You were just madly in love with this other boy that robbed my house. So what's going on here? And he liked her. It was the first time he had ever brought a girl home. And mind you, he's 18 years old. So it's like, what's going on here? She's pretty, she's beautiful. But what's the motive? There's got to be a motive because there's no way that her boyfriend had involvement in breaking into our homes and now all of a sudden she's your girlfriend and everybody wants to kill you.
Hmm. When the part of let's go back. Okay, so
But
the break-in part, was there any video or audio of conversation about him doing it that led your son to say, "Oh wow, your boyfriend, your man is the one that could have set me up, that set this whole thing up."
yes, that conversation was did happen. He did tell me, like, I'm going to talk to her about it. We're going to figure all this out. If she does know everything, we're going to handle it. And we didn't never get really any answers. Every weekend it was like he was shot at, and our
Mm.
homes, were breaking into our back doors were getting kicked in, and we were calling the police every time. And for whatever reason, my husband was arrested every time we called the cops. And we couldn't understand that he would go to jail and then my house would get shot up or our doors would get kicked in like it was a setup. And none of these kids were arrested. None of these kids, to my knowledge, were questioned about why is this woman saying y'all broke in her house or y'all are trying to murder her son. That was never ever talked about amongst these kids. I do know in my police reports these kids' names are mentioned, so are their addresses and phone numbers. But why did it stop there? Why didn't we arrest them? And I mean the police, as in the sheriff's office and the police department. Why weren't they arrested? I've never heard of people breaking into people's homes and you know who did it and they don't go to jail.
Wow.
So it was a pretty lengthy year that year. It was March of 2020 all the way through Halloween 2020 till he was murdered. And it was police report after police report. And these crimes that were committed were
Matter of
considered
fact,
deadly conduct, attempted murder.
that's something to think
Yes.
about. I'm looking for something. The only thing I don't like about TikTok, you can't play news coverage. You can't play any like video, but guess what? I could play audio.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, TikTok, they used to be able to play news coverage and video and stuff while you're doing an interview or even
Hmm.
talking to somebody. They stopped that. You can't do that no more, but you can still play the
Oh,
audio.
really?
You can still play the audio.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna look for something that I had found of yours, but I want you to talk about the police standing out your house while I'm looking for that.
Well, a month
Cause they some crooked
after
motherfuckers.
my son was murdered, yes, my our home was raided. Um, they took belongings out of my home. The paperwork stated that they were there to pick up items in regards to the murder of Alec. What was taken from my home was money, guns, and money bag and bullets. For whatever reason, we didn't know why that would have anything to do with my son's murder. Everything that they took belonged to myself and my husband. It was not illegal to have any of the items that were taken from my home. As far as it being against the law, it's not a crime
Mhm.
to own a business and have money. So we were really confused. While we're mourning the death of my son, the month anniversary, our doors basically getting kicked in. And oh my god, sorry, I screamed. I just got attacked by a geese. It just bit me. So
Girl, I'm
yeah,
already
sorry.
stressed over your
You
stuff.
scared
And
me.
these screamers don't let me know what's going on. But I'm glad you said I got attacked by a bee. I thought something else. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh, I was walking and it just bit the back of my leg. Talk about scare me. Woke me up real
The
quick.
stuff that's going
But
on with you,
no, it was
you gonna give me a heart attack.
sorry.
Okay, at least it was a B. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I mean it was tough. We tried everything possible to try to save our son and get some type of justice. Mind you, after Alec was murdered, we were told that the victim was deceased. Well, my son was a minor pretty much every time we contacted the police up until his murder. So once again, we couldn't understand. My son was, yes, he was a victim, but so were we. Um, Being that our homes were being shot at, our vehicle was shot up, and my son was like a minor. He didn't own that home. He didn't own that car. His parents did. So, um, as a parent, what do? You file charges against
Hmm.
people who are destroying your property or, trying to kill you. So, we still can't figure out why they will not arrest these kids, even being 4 years later. Um, why not? There's not a statute of limitations with this right now. It's a murder. There should be lots of people arrested for conspiracy to murder, to a minor at the time. And these kids were adults. They were 21 and up and had records and were on felony probation. And my son did not have a criminal record.
So your son never got arrested.
He got arrested for no driver's license, but
Uh,
that was thrown out.
yeah, I'm saying like he's her son. He wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't a gangbanger. He was a good
Correct.
kid.
Yes.
He was a good kid.
Yes. And, it's not like a mother trying to paint this perfect, beautiful picture, but he was an outstanding kid. And he definitely did not deserve to get murdered
And even
over
right.
anything,
And even if he was a drug dealer, and if he was a gangbanger, and if he was a this, and he still didn't deserve to get killed.
Correct.
Tell me what happened the day of his murder, the day he decided to go to another party, the day that the girl caught him. Tell me how that all begun. When he left your house,
Yes.
what happened?
That day was his sister's birthday party day. We
No
were at home
way.
celebrating.
I didn't know that. That was his.
Yes. His sister's birthday is just a few days before Halloween, and his dad's birthday is a few days after Halloween. So we were celebrating, and every year, I do a pumpkin carving at home with my nieces, nephews, and my kids, and we were all cooking and hanging out. And he got home and he ate and he was playing video games, and then shortly after, I got a phone call that he was deceased. So he got a phone call, to go hang out and go to a Halloween party. And mind you, he was a senior in high school, his last year of high school, and he had just graduated, finished school about a week or two prior to his murder. And he
So he graduated.
he was talking. Yes, he did. He graduated high
Yeah.
school.
Right.
The school that he went to, he had the highest test scores as far as the test scores that are mandated by the state. So I guess he talked to his girlfriend, and she was asking him to go to another party, and they never got off the car. They were driving, and as he was going to leave, he was shot multiple times by multiple people that were basically their figure of speech, not mine. They walked him basically like a dog. Ran up on his car. He could not leave. He could not move. There was so much traffic with all the kids, and his car was riddled in bullets. He was ambushed, and there was no way he could save himself, not even to get out of there. And he died at the wheel in his vehicle. Someone was arrested 18 days after his murder, but they were released the following year in May of 2021 for lack of evidence. So currently, there's no one that has been charged in the murder of my son.
No one has been charged. They're
The
still
guy
in
turned.
the streets, still talking shit
Yes.
on the internet.
Yes. And one of the kids, or two of them, well, several actually, are in prison, but not for my son. They're for different crimes. Mind you, they were on probation, like I said, felony probation at the time of my son's murder, but they were not revoked. They weren't revoked until the following year of 2021 in August due to other crimes committed by a felon. So currently, myself, my family, we are seeking justice for my son. And we're this year 4 years later.
How do you feel about this? That these monsters are still out here. These monsters has been on the internet talking crap to you and your family. These monsters. How do you feel about their parents not doing anything?
There's a mother that likes to attack me and call me delusional loony Michelle, who doesn't know who murdered her son. But I know
What?
exactly who killed my son. This was an ongoing 7 to 8 month long period, of going through drive-bys and break-ins. So we were very well aware of who was coming into our home and who was shooting up our vehicles. These kids were not shy about it. Something about social media gives people, what do you call it? They get brave, I guess, internet fame. They want to brag. They want to boast about what they do and what they did. And I did turn all that into the authorities, and nothing still was done. I was told that it's not a crime to write about what you see. These kids went as far as to making rap songs about murdering my son and how they did it. I turned it into the authorities, and they told me it wasn't a crime for them to sing about what they saw.
What they saw.
Well, they're not singing about what they saw.
They're
They're rapping about what they did.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And thank you. I'm Michelle. I just saw what you Oh, I don't know if it was you that did it. Michelle D. Bosque. Did you give me something?
No, ma'am.
Oh, somebody got your same name, girl. Yeah, they got your same name. Oh, but thank you. They're rapping about what they did.
Yes. And these are several boys, not just one. And so it's really hurtful as a parent, as a mother, to hear these kids rapping or singing or whatever they want to call it, about crimes that they committed against myself and my child. And especially when the authorities don't do anything about it. My whole deal is I thought they were here to protect and serve, and my son was not protected, nor has there been any service of any sort for my family or my son. And we, as a family, we're very hurt because we were attacked and we were slandered all over town. And what happened to the kids that hurt my son, or what happened to the kids that broke into my home? Why aren't these kids or people held accountable for what they did? Why were they let go? Why were they, they treated me and my child as if someone stepped on my son's foot or something, and I'm just crying and complaining because someone's bothering my child. I was given the name Karen at the Odessa Police Department because I didn't stop calling and reporting what was happening to my child. They treated me like a helicopter parent that wouldn't accept the fact that her son was growing up, and people wanted to beat him up. Well, they weren't trying to beat him up; they were trying to kill him.
They were trying to kill him.
That was a big difference. Yes.
They treated you like you was the one that took his life.
Yes. Yes. Or we were in the wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yes, like we were committing a crime.
Right. Exactly.
And we were the ones that the crimes were being committed against us. We had to go through insurance companies as far as our vehicle. It got shot up 4 times. So, by then an insurance company is going to say you can't drive that car no more, and it's totaled out because of the fear of someone being murdered in the vehicle if it's kept. So we lost a lot. We didn't just lose our son. We lost a whole lot. Nothing really was ever repaired. Yes, insurance companies granted money to the damages of our home, but that doesn't bring our son back. That didn't solve our problem. Why weren't these kids arrested for the crimes that they committed? There was more than one, and when we say more than one, we're talking about more than 2 handfuls. We're talking 20 plus kids. So it was one of the biggest cases in our area, in the Permian Basin, West Texas area. And I'm in Odessa, Texas.
And these were gang members. Let's put that up. These were gang members. But Alex was not in the gang.
No.
He was no gang.
No.
These were gang members. And let's also put this out here. It took this young boy's life because he defended his family on the internet, basically, by saying, "You shot at my mother's house. Why'd you shoot at my mama's house?"
Yes.
So because of words and defending himself with his words, he didn't put out a knife. He didn't put out a gun on him. He didn't do none of that stuff.
No.
He defended with his words. But they couldn't take that. They decided to murder this little boy.
Yes.
Take this little boy's life. Bully this little boy. They took her baby's life.
Yes.
And the police do nothing. Not a damn thing.
And we're talking about several entities, right? We're not just talking about the city police. We're talking about the sheriffs and a neighboring city, that we had to file a report with as well. These are 3 different entities that did nothing, and did nobody come out and say, "Hey, what's going on? These kids need to be arrested. They have criminal records. Why are y'all attacking the family?"
Right.
So that was really hard for us to understand. Like, we felt like it was a big dream, like, how does this work? Since when do you call the cops and they don't help you and they put you in jail for calling? Or, I mean, we didn't go to jail for calling, but they figured something else out to put us in jail for, and we're the ones screaming for help. How did these kids know that the police told us to leave town and we agreed? And then they were in my house for almost a week hanging out, breaking into my house, bled on my walls, dropped bullets. So had I walked into the home, or my husband or my son or my daughter, somebody could have been in that house and shot us and killed us, and that's scary too, because like I said, he was a minor. A little bit later, yes, he turned into an adult. He became 18, but we were still the parents, whether
He was still a teenager,
he's
yeah.
dead or alive. Yes. And so we wanted to know, are you not afraid of these kids? Are you not afraid that they're going to continue to do these types of acts to other people? And they didn't seem to be concerned at all. They kept acting like my son was the problem and my son was the issue. How is one child an issue against 20 plus kids? And then you become murdered and the city doesn't care. This kid had over 30 bullets in his car in West Odessa. And this was Halloween night. And there was over 400 kids that were present at the party and 200 witnesses. How did nobody see anything? How is these kids not all in jail for the murder of my child? That's my mother in that photo in the background. She stands with me everywhere I go. My son was the love of her life. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up seeing that photo because, he was such a light to us. And to know that he was taken by inhumane individuals that are still out and about, or even if they are incarcerated, it's not for what they did.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let it out.
But I did fight so hard for my baby, and I called the police every time because I told him we are not animals. We will go to the authorities and they will help us because they are our friends. And it felt like it backfired on me, like they were not our friends. They did not help us. It was more hurt and harm than help for us as a family.
And that's what I say a lot too. They are supposed to protect us, right? The police.
Yes.
We're supposed to trust them.
Yes. And I don't hate police. Here they might think I do, and I'm angry and bitter. It was not one police officer. It was not two police officers. It was not 3, 4, 5. We're talking 20 plus reports. So different people came out every time. We're talking sergeants. We're talking going to the head of the police station, to the head of the sheriff's department, and not one person helping out at all.
What did they say when you said to them, they're shooting at my house, they gonna kill my baby?
Their response is, what is he doing for them to want to kill him? To me, that was irrelevant because they're trying to kill him. Wow. I get that we need to get to the root of the problem. I do understand that. But at the end of the day, we got to save this kid before he's murdered. And no, I did not think that they're like a daycare service and they were supposed to, watch my son or patrol my son or be there for him in that matter. But I mean, I did expect for people
investigation or something.
Yes, that.
Your job.
Yes. That's all I wanted, was for them to investigate, look into it, and arrest whoever needs to be arrested. But since my son's murder, the crime rate has spiked tremendously in our community, and especially murders. A lot of kids think, well, Alec was murdered and nobody went to jail, so I can get away with it. And so many people have been murdering people here just for no reason. And I felt, for a while, like they needed to punish these kids and, how do you say, like, not so much teach them a lesson, but show the community we're not going to put up with this type of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 7 to 8 months, that's a manhunt. That's it's ridiculous that you have so much hate in your heart that for that many months you were trying to kill somebody. And this child, he wouldn't hurt a fly. I told you several times he loved animals. He brought every stray home as far as humans and pets and whatnot and stuff. And we miss that about him. We miss him being here. We miss his beautiful smile. We miss his energy, his glow. And nothing or no one can replace that. And we know, even if there's justice, it's not going to take away the hurt we have because this went on for so long. Did we know he was going to die when he died? No, but we did know that these kids were out to kill him. One of the kids was, I don't want to say a friend because he was not a friend to my son, but he met him through a mutual friend, and this kid came after my son and wanted him murdered. He even put out a hit on my son for $3,200 that whoever killed him would get paid. And we talked about it before my son died. And he told me, Mom, nobody's going to murder nobody for $3,000. This guy's crazy thinking that he can convince people to do that. Well, it happened, and I wish that I wasn't right when I told him that people will do it for anything. It doesn't matter how much money. A lot of these kids don't have money. They don't know the value of money. A couple of thousand sounds like a whole lot of money, and,
Oh, I see.
And now he's gone. And it left a big hole in our hearts, You see that article right there says that Alec got into a confrontation and was shot multiple times. Alec was in his car with the windows rolled up. How are you arguing with somebody? Yes.
Why did they say that? Who
so
put
that article,
out there?
We have no idea. That
Freaking
the sheriff's
idiots.
department.
Idiots.
And so to me, that's far from the truth.
I meant to ask you about that yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that just now. I was just putting the picture up. But it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I saw that. And I was like, wait a minute. This boy was in his car. He didn't even get out to go to the party.
Yes, he was in the car. No,
God.
he did not. The story goes, allegedly, I was told by several...
Go ahead. Then I'll say
I was told by several kids that Alec didn't even get off the car. And these guys were, I guess, turned away from the party due to having weapons on them. And so when they were walking away, they happened to see my son and shoot up his car. And Alec was murdered in the vehicle. But these guys chased my son's car down and kept shooting at it and wanted to make sure he was dead. I have several witnesses of people that have come to me and told me that they could hear the kids screaming, "Is he dead? Is he dead or alive?" And people were yelling like, "He's alive. No, he's dead." And then people heard more shots fired. So it made several people believe that he was finished off, like if he was alive and they finished him. But when I got my son's body, all of the bullets were consistent with him being inside the car, not outside. Because, mind you, he died in the car, so he was dragged out of the car so they could go get help to move him out of the driver's seat because he was driving. He did have a victim that was with him as well. He was arrested after my son was deceased as well for tampering with evidence. And his charges were dropped. But, these kids, like I said, tried their damnedest to murder my child, and like I said before, nothing was done. And I'm very grateful to you and your platform to try to, help us get Alec's story out there and many others, to help them advocate for their children, because it's very hard. It's very tiring. It's very stressful. You relive that moment over and over, and it becomes very discouraging when nobody wants to help you, especially law enforcement.
Even other content creators and activists I reached out to, they just don't even reach out back. It's disgusting. Katie said, "Are the individuals still targeting you? Are they still bothering you? These guys?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are those monsters still targeting you?"
No, not any. No, they have not. I have been told by one of the boys' mother, stuff, by a sister, by a girlfriend, to shut my mouth, or they've gotten in my inbox. They friend requested me. They've slandered me, told me that I don't know who killed my kid. I'm just naming anybody. And that's far from the truth. My son was murdered by multiple people, hunted down by multiple people. So if I mention multiple names, or 10 plus names, that does not mean I don't know who murdered my son. That means that everyone played or had a role in my son's murder.
Have you gone to the DA or the governor?
I have gone to the DA. The DA does not want to help me. They basically closed the case and put it cold. Why? I don't know. I thought that they would at least come back but they said that a grand jury chose not to charge the person who they initially charged, and the charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. But once again, he's serving a life sentence, but not for my son.
It's not for your baby though. He needs to serve it for your baby.
No.
I want to
Yes.
listen. I want to play something for y'all. This really got me, y'all. I'm so sorry, but it just got me when I heard this. How was Alec? I can't play the video. So cute. And there's a video of Alex. I guess he's putting on Christmas gifts, his like sneakers or something.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I put that together, but I can't even play it because TikTok. On my YouTube, I can play it.
No, he was very much into fashion, and clothes and shoes and making music and working. And
How was Alec? Maybe I'll play it a little bit. I don't know if I can. How was Alec? Oh, man. Alex gone. Man. Oh, great. I just don't know how I can do it. My poor baby, they murdered him. They cold blood and they just lived their lives, not even charged for murder. This ain't even right, man. This ain't even right.
that was me leaving the doctor's office. My doctor had asked how Alec was because our boys played football together. And I guess I assumed, everybody knew because it had been all over the news. But, it felt like I was I was being told for the first time that my son was murdered, but I was actually telling someone else that knew my son for the first time. So I did have a little breakdown.
It's okay. That part right there, like, wow. Wow.
It doesn't get easier. You definitely, them tears flow all the time, just a sudden movement, a sudden memory, a sudden smell, a sudden thought. It can just tear you up.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Alec would be 22. He just had a birthday, August 6th.
Yeah. 22 years old. He would have been 22 years old if these animals did not take his life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How's your kids handling this?
I only had a son and a daughter, so it's been very hard for my daughter. Her birthday comes around and she gets so sad and so depressed because her last memory, her brother leaving and not coming back. My son was, they said he was deceased on November 1st. My husband's birthday is November 2nd. So my son's murder was in between my husband and my daughter's birthday. So it's very hard that I have to put on this happy face for my daughter. That it's her birthday and I'm mourning my son. And then the next day I have to celebrate my husband and pretend that we're all great and everything's fine when my world is literally crashing and falling apart because I will never get that joy back of my child. My son is never coming back, but I still have to celebrate these two wonderful lives in front of me. And it's hard. It's very hard.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, everyone.
So, that's tough on your kid.
How's your husband handling this?
Oh, it's very hard for him. Very hard. He's very quiet. Very quiet, but it's literally, to say that it's destroyed my family would be an understatement. We were once a family of 4, and now we're a family of 3, and we feel so incomplete. But with faith and prayers and God, we will get through this. I have a lot of faith. I'm very broken, but I have a lot of faith.
That's right. You have
I just have a hard time allowing my brain and my heart to come together, to understand that he's not coming back. And that's one of the hardest things that you have to tell your mind, your body, your soul, is that your child that you brought into this world is not coming back home because someone decided to play God and take him from you.
Oh, wow. What can the community do? That's
Mhm.
what.
I'm sorry?
What can the community do? What can
As far as like my community, or
like everybody sharing your posts, share your pictures,
yes,
videos, keep his name out there.
yeah,
Right?
sharing his story, and
Yeah.
yes, and putting, like you said, putting his name out there and asking questions and wanting to know why justice has not been served for this young man
Mm-hmm.
or young child, as I'd like to say.
Katie said, I'm so, so sorry. Sending lots of prayers. This is so unfair. His life mattered. Yes, it did. This is very, this is messed up.
Oh, thank you so much,
Oh,
Katie.
this is so sad. Katie. Who else is here? All right, hi, Justice for Leo. Um, wow. Please, everyone, support her. Um, she needs all the support. Share his videos. Go on. He also has a Facebook page. He has a Facebook group.
Yes, called Justice
Yes.
for Alec on Facebook. We also have under my name. It's also a Justice for Alec page on TikTok under Michelle Del Bosque, and pretty much these pages are just used to bring awareness to his name and to others who have been murdered in our community that have not received justice, or just who have been murdered. And we want to kind of bring it up and raise awareness. Every year since my son's murder, we do a proclamation every year for those who have been murdered by gun violence, and we do a gun violence rally in his honor and everyone else who have been murdered due to gun violence.
Yeah, I see. I saw some rallies you've done out there. With other
Yes.
parents. So she's very into the community when it comes to being out there and doing rallies with parents and talk about gun violence and stuff like that. It's on Facebook. I have put a video of that together. Go check that out. Go look at her page. Go support anything you see about her son. Share it because it's not. People are not going to know if it's not shared. Share,
Right.
share, share. Share like your life depends on it. Share it like
Yes.
it was one of our kids.
Yes, please.
Okay? That's how I do. I share like it was my baby.
Yes, and I thank you so much and appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is anything else you want to say before we go? You want to say anything else?
No, just thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, and everyone who tuned in. Thank you so much for listening to my story. And if you could please just help us get the story out there. Like I said, Alec deserves justice. Everybody deserves justice. Martin Luther King said, injustice, injustice anywhere is injustice for everyone. We have to be there for everyone and make sure that we help one another, and be the change we wish to see in our community, because it starts with us, and we have to stand tall and stand strong, and we're better together than apart.
Right.
So
yes, we
thank
have to
you very
stand
much.
together. We have to stand together. You're welcome. And this is
Yes,
not
ma'am.
the end. Y'all gonna see her again. We'll do one it on my YouTube platform and Facebook next time. Okay. That way we can
Okay.
see
Yes, ma'am.
more, and I
Thank you.
can show. Yeah, I can show news clips and another stuff like that. Because on Facebook and YouTube you can do stuff like that. When you come up on there and you
Okay.
can, it's just different. So we'll see her again. Okay. But please share this. Y'all did share it. I see this a lot. Y'all shared it 4 times out. So thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Everyone, please be safe out there. Um, I don't know about y'all, but I believe in a higher power. So I
Yes.
always got to put God first. You know, and I always keep everybody in prayer. Continue to keep everyone in prayer. Please keep her in prayer. Okay, please. Hey,
Thank
Hot
you.
Cakes. Whoever you Hot Cake. The names y'all got on here. Oh, child. Hot Cakes. All right, y'all. Everyone, have a blessed day. Let me go cook for my hubby.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye bye. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Don't forget this Saturday, join my platform. I'm still trying to figure out I think it might be on another platform. I don't think I'm gonna do TikTok. I think I'm gonna do another platform. But I have 7 families coming on there. Justice for Leah is one of them. All right. We have 7 families coming on there talking about their loved ones being murdered and missing. Okay. Facebook Live. YouTube, it will be live. Okay. So please join that. 6 o'clock this Saturday. Now let me go and cook for my man because he hungry, y'all. Until then, I will see you later. Bye. Thank y'all for joining and supporting also, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.